Hi everyone, we're going to continue the Cell Salt series talking about Kali Phos. Breaking off the new year 2023, exploring this salt just for a short period of time. And it's incredible, like they all are. But this one, for me personally, is one of the standout ones. It's a very, very interesting salt, probably from an esoteric point of view, but also it's just wondrous on so many levels. And it interests me mainly because of the intrications, the applications for Chinese medicine, because I'm a practitioner of Chinese medicine. So I found this salt to be very, very good in terms of corresponding some key diagnostics to do with Chinese medicine. So Kali Phos potassium phosphate is a brain tonic and nerve nutrient. And from a Chinese medicine point of view, it will calm the Shen. From a Chinese medical application point of view, it will address liver yang rising, stomach fire, and food stagnation. Now, this salt is very much indicated for people who have a lot of hunger, or when they eat a big meal and they're still hungry after it. In Chinese medicine, that's a lot to do with stomach fire. It's also indicated for halitosis. So this can be from food stagnation, with foods not rotting and ripening properly in the stomach. Will make us have foul breath. And another really key component is the liver yang rising. Now, liver yang rising in Chinese medicine comes from a deficiency usually of the kidneys. So water is not able to nourish wood, therefore the ascension of the liver, yang energy, rises to the head, surges up, which can be pretty dangerous. It can cause strokes, cerebral hemorrhages and things like this. So this salt's very much indicated that, because that liver yang rising type of constitution on the person with that very wiry, taut bowstring pulse, which is indicated for Kali phosphate, it can put a lot of pressure on the brain. And this salt is very much indicated for extreme nervous tension. On the deeper psych level, full-fledged insomnia and insanity and dementia. Fainting, mental and physical exhaustion, hungry after eating, like I said, the softening of the brain and spinal cord, nervous headaches, and of course tinnitus, because tinnitus can, especially the tinnitus coming from the liver yang rising, which is what they call more an excess state in Chinese medicine. Brilliant for this. And obviously poor gum health, unhygienic gums, or just infections in the gums, things like this. Now, getting back to this extreme nervous tension and particularly dementia. Dementia can be used with Kali Phos in a way as tonics to strengthen the mind and the essence. Because George W. Carey pays close attention to this very word essence, in which is derived from the Latin word esse, which means to be. It's a really, really important concept, because the essence nourishes the brain and the spinal cord. It's Jing, what he's really talking about in Chinese medicine language. So this is what we know. We know when the mind becomes Jing deficient, it becomes dull, the inability to concentrate, weak memory, which this salt's very indicated for, burnout. It can give you moodiness and depression. So, but another key thing is, which really stood out to me from this salt, I remember years ago I went to a lecture by a nurse, and I've examined this myself clinically. When people have, particularly for dementia, high doses of this salt is just absolutely incredible. I remember a naturopath giving a lecture on this talking about how she gave high doses of this salt to some of her patients in nursing homes and made them function incredibly well in terms of people with dementia. So this is an incredible salt. It is out of all the 12 salts, this salt actually has the highest rate of vibration out of all the 12 minerals. So it's actually electrifying, this salt. It is incredible. And when we look at the body spiritually is governed by electricity. Blood carries an electric charge. I guess the qi can be the same thing in Chinese medicine as, in my opinion, considers electricity. So qi moves blood, qi circulates blood, blood carries an electric charge. And this is important to understand on that esoteric point of view. Because, like I said before, I think it may have been in the Leo one, it's not the heart that pumps blood, it's qi. And so potassium is considered the food of the gods. And it's the electrical generator, which George W. talks about in the chapter on Aries, is the cerebrum. And this is considered the house of God, or the house of Aries. So this salt is an incredible salt to use, particularly for people with incredible nervous tension. And now, when it comes to the face, they can have a grayish type appearance, or you can see the indented temples. That's very obvious to see extreme Kali Phos deficiency. Most people with an Aries sun can generally have this, or people with a lot of planets in Aries, or I'd say more so possibly Saturn or a south node in Aries will have this facial type, indented temples. And the first thing you're going to go for clinically will be this salt. It's just incredible on so many levels. A good gin tonic for people who have got burnout, weak memories, loss of mind, extreme mental and physical exhaustion, extreme depression, when they just feel completely out of sorts. This salt can turn. I remember one patient I had who was on the brink of, not in a good state in terms of the dark side of the psyche, suicidal thoughts, this kind of thing. I actually gave him 3 bottles and just said had 4 pills every 15 minutes till the bottles run out over the week, and he was fine the next week. So it's just incredible what this salt can do. Now, on the psych level too, just on that, we're talking about burnout, physical burnout, nervous irritability, weak memory, which I talked about, and particularly anger. Remember, Aries type energy is very impulsive, moody, depression, self-pity, and this salt's very much indicated on the psych level for a feeling of being insulted and disgraced by a family, which is an interesting one. This was taken out actually out of one of my books on homeopathy. And so people who have been kind of shadow banned from the family, or which a lot of people have the last 2 years, I've been clinically prescribing this salt. And obviously there's a big increase in panic attacks. So from the panic attack point of view, all the potassium salts are pretty good, but this one is your go-to. Probably combined with Phos and whatever else is going on in the body. So another brilliant salt, and I think next one we're going to get right into will be the Taurus salt. I've kind of gone in a weird order doing these because I should have really started at Aries, because traditionally that's when the sign of the Zodiac starts. But another thing I forgot to mention with this diagnosis is a deviated tongue. And a tongue, so when there's tongue when it sticks out and actually turns, it deviates, goes around, either this way or that way. There's another indication of liver yang rising in Chinese medicine supported by the wiry taut pulse, but it's a clear sign too for a Kali Phos deficiency, when the body's like wired like a bowstring, extremely tight. And I've also prescribed this for people with ice addicts, ice addictions, or in the States they call it crystal meth. This kind of thing really gives a strong wiry taut pulse. It burns out, that drug burns out all the fluids in the body, and then gives, so you're depleted in blood and yin, so the liver can't anchor, it's too dry, so it's going to fire up the energy into the brain. Another very, very important salt for drug addicts who have been, who've really abused themselves on that kind of substance. And generally, probably on a mainstream level, herbs involved in that will be the, from a naturopathic point of view, I guess St. John's wort, which most people are familiar with. But I would say, from a Chinese medicine point of view, there's so many different herb formulas you could use for this. It depends, then again, on the diagnosis. So if there's any questions about that, you can contact me.